So before we begin,
Can you stop moving around?
what is tying your hair back right now?
Okay, wait. Why did you have to bring that up?
Because if you go to
it got really hot, and I could not find a rubber band in my a ponytail holder.
Just tell them what you have.
In my purse, and it's a phone cord.
iPhone charging cable.
Yeah.
So
it's tied in a bow.
You might even see it if you go over to the TikTok.
I got
and watch
so hot, and I needed my hair in a ponytail bad.
Watch the verticals. Yeah.
Women with.
So we've got the 2024 Nissan Ariya. This is the Empower Plus model. When Nissan's overly complicated naming system, what that means is this is the sort of highest front-wheel drive trim with the biggest battery pack. So that means it's not overly powerful, but it's reasonably efficient. We're going to break it down because we ended up liking this car, both of us, especially you. Yeah. We ended up liking this car a lot more than you were expecting. And it's a pretty great EV and something that you might be able to get a pretty good deal on. All right, one thing that I don't think the Nissan Ariya gets enough credit for is that it's a pretty good looking EV SUV. I actually really like the way that the Ariya looks. You really like the way the Ariya looks, and we vehemently disagree on the Ioniq 5. I think the Ioniq 5 looks fantastic, and you literally hate it. But you love the way
car, though.
Yeah, you love the car and you love the way it drives, but you hate the way the Ioniq 5 looks. The Ariya is, well, sort of the opposite in the sense that we both like the way that it looks and we both like the way that it drives. And so I think from a styling standpoint, this is we'll call it a low cost, not a no cost option, but it's a low cost option to get the two-tone paint. Absolutely do it. It looks really good in this sort of gray. I know gray is getting like really kind of played out.
It looks so good though.
Yeah, but it looks so good with the gray with the black accents. And I think it really sets off the kind of cool looking front end. What I like about the Ariya, and we both kind of feel this way, is that like a lot of EVs felt the need to be like weird just because they're EVs. They're like, look how weird we look because we're an EV. The Ariya is doing that I look different because I'm an EV in all the right ways. So whether you're talking about the front end with the thin headlights and those cool kind of like indented accent lights, or the rear end with the really thin brake lights, this has all LED lighting all around on the 19-inch wheels. I just think it looks fantastic. I think the Ariya is sort of like underrated in terms of how good looking it is as an EV, and also just how it is in general, which we're obviously going to cover. But from a styling standpoint, this one gets thumbs up from both of us, which is not always the case.
So we are here with the 2024 Nissan Ariya.
We've already told him that.
Oh my God. I'm literally going to kill you.
I start every video by saying what we're here with.
It is an EV, and I loved it. I'm already like no suspense.
Is this the styling?
No,
part?
I'm just telling you. Like, I love this car.
What is even happening in this review right now?
I can say whatever I want to say.
Okay.
The people don't want to hear the man behind the camera.
Except when I'm on the camera.
Yeah, but you're not on the camera right now.
Oh, okay.
So they don't want to hear you. So styling wise,
there we go.
I think it looks really cool, actually. I love this color. This dark gray, whatever this is.
Gray is getting played out, but it looks great on this.
Yeah, it looks so good. The dark gray with all the black, like it looks sleek, but not like dorky.
It's a small option.
Like the inside of this car, and I'll show you in a minute with the big open thing, but it kind of reminds me of the Ioniq.
Yeah, it
but
has
like
some
the outside of this is like way better than the Ioniq.
Yeah, you do not like the way the Ioniq
I do not like the way like it looks like one of those. It's like, oh, let's look like a spaceship because I'm an electric vehicle, and which I hate. I think that's
this is like cool spaceship.
It does not look like a spaceship.
Well,
like, in no world. It looks cool. It just looks like a cool car.
Okay.
Like, I love it. I love all the black accents. I love the all black tires, the wheels and tires, whatever.
Tires are usually black. What kind of tires? What kind of tires are you driving?
Oh gosh, comment down below if he annoys you as much as he annoys me. Okay, that might be opening ourselves up to. The back looks cool. It's like really fat. I feel like it has a lot of like fat features.
It's really fat. Baby
it has a lot of fat features.
So it makes a lot.
My gosh, can I finish? And I really like it. Like, I love the fat back end. The front end kind of looks fat to me, like a big fat grill. And do you know what I mean? It's like big over, I don't know, like.
Big over.
What's the word? Like, I don't know, you're going to have to edit this part out. But I can't think of like when it's like overdone, but like in a good way. The word will come to me later. I'm having word retrieval.
I know. What is this word retrieval issue?
But I love the way this car looks. I love the front. I love the back. I love the side. I would 100% get it in this color. Or I think it would look cool in all black too, but like the gray black is like,
Yeah, the two-tone is
it looks
nice.
so good. Exaggerated features. It has exaggerated features. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, that's what you're looking
Doesn't
for.
that make sense though? You know what I'm saying?
You like the exaggerated features.
I love it.
Yeah.
The cargo space, I mean, this is pretty.
Watch out
Your
for
bags,
the...
I see it. Bags back here as always, taking up my space. But like, this is pretty good, don't you think? How many cubic feet is that?
It's like 23.
Is that good?
It's okay, but Nissan's trying to maximize passenger space.
Okay.
So
And I
if you
haven't been in the back yet, but the front is super
Yeah,
big
and if you
comfy.
fold it down, it actually has like almost 60, which
Oh,
is
you can
pretty
fold
good.
down the back seat?
Yeah,
Oh.
but behind it, it's decent. 23 is decent.
I mean, I think this is a decent. You could take suitcases back here.
Well, they're also
you wouldn't
being
be going
smart,
on a long
right,
trip, but
because
like,
you wouldn't go on a long trip, so they're giving
Yeah.
you some.
oh, that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
you like we couldn't drive this car to Disney World.
Well, no,
I mean, you'd have to stop and charge it along the way, which
depending
would be
on
annoying.
what people think. We'll talk about that.
Okay. But a decent amount of cargo space for sure.
So as you can see here, this is one of the kind of drawbacks of the Nissan Ariya. No front trunk. And because this is just the front wheel drive trim, that means it only has 238 horsepower and it's like 220 pound-feet of torque or something like that. So it's not a lot. However, upside is that because it's an EV, it does feel more powerful than that because the torque comes on instantly. So it still feels like it has decent motivation. Now this one is rated at 289 miles, I believe, on maximum charge, which we did see. I think it's the Venture trim can get over just over 300, but 289 has been fine. We haven't had any trouble with that. And here's something that I'll say. A lot of people like to talk about how fast it's making all kinds of weird noises. A lot of people like to talk about how fast EVs are in a straight line and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot of fun, but trust me, we've had a number of EVs, both of us enjoy that quick hit of acceleration. In normal daily driving around town, suburban commuting, is it strictly necessary? No. I never felt like this thing was down on power, even driving on the highway. Did you ever feel like this thing was down on power? It feels totally fine. And the 289 miles has been perfectly adequate. Now, there is one drawback. So we have 289 miles, we have decent power, no front trunk, but it's not the end of the world. Nissan said they did this to maximize passenger space. I don't know if that's 100% true, if they're just making an excuse, but it is what it is. There's one quick negative I want to point out that is maybe the Ariya's Achilles heel as an EV if you wanted to use it as more than just around town commuting. All right, so the big negative is charge speed. The
No,
Ariya
the negative is the reason you're down on your knees is because I couldn't get
is
your
because I'm too tall,
big
right?
tall
Yeah,
head
yeah.
in the camera shot.
I have a little bit too much for this. Recharge speed on the Nissan Ariya maxes out at like 130 kilowatts, which is not great. That means it's going to take you like 45 minutes to go from kind of a lower state of charge to an acceptably high state of charge on a fast charger because it can't do much more than 130 kilowatts. Now, I do like that it has just a normal door and you can use the old style of fast charging here. They are going to adapt to the new Tesla system and they'll give you an adapter for your 2023 and 2024 Nissan Arias. So I like that Nissan is kind of playing ball here and they're trying to make it as convenient as possible. But what this means is that the Ariya is sort of relegated to being an around town sort of second car only. Like you can't get this as your only EV or your only car, like you could with like a Tesla or, you know, even some of the Hyundai, like the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 have really fast recharge speeds, or your Rivians and stuff like that. The Ariya just simply can't charge that fast.
But what if you like work somewhere that has a charging system?
Well, yeah.
Or-
From day to day around town. I'm just saying we couldn't go to the beach in it, like because
Well,
you
if
would
there
have to
were-
stop.
I mean, you could plan out your charges along the way.
Oh yeah,
couldn't
but
you?
I mean, you would take you on most of our trips. It would take you an extra hour minimum, like
well,
minimum.
if you found like a lunch spot or something.
Right.
Okay.
So like you couldn't go
I
much
feel like
more
you could
than
make it happen if you really wanted
for
to.
like a
but it's
6-hour
not
trip.
Super
I think you
convenient.
go more than that, it becomes annoying, right?
Yeah.
Like because then you're adding 2 hours or more, like to your
Yeah.
trip, and that would be irritating. So like for our Disney trips, you would have to stop more than once, and that's annoying. For beach trip, one stop, not the end of the world, but it just simply isn't as fast as the competition.
Okay, so we are welcome to the channel.
This isn't the beginning.
It's not the beginning.
No, this is the middle.
Okay, well, welcome to the middle of the video. And this is the, what year? 2020?
This is 24.
2024 Nissan, is it called the Ariya?
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce it? Ariya, which is an electric vehicle. Purely electric, right? No
Yep.
no PHEV.
Nope. Fully.
And spoiler alert, I really like this car. Now, I am not the biggest fan of an electric vehicle because I have a irrational fear of like not being able to get where I need to go. and not being able to charge and being stranded on the side of the road. But like that seems like a personal problem, really. But like the more I drove this week, I was like, I would like legit drive this car. So the drive, because I'm driving, that's what we like to talk about.
Yes, we focus on the drive.
The drive is lovely. It is very smooth. And I feel like electric cars are usually like a smoother drive, which I do really enjoy. So the braking is not perfect.
No,
it's a little
weakness.
grabby. Yeah. But I love when I say something like about the drive and you agree with me. Like I do actually know what I'm talking about.
Because I'm the enthusiast of
yeah,
the chain.
yeah, and I'll say something and you're like, you're right. And I'm like, darn right I'm right, you know. Did we ever doubt me?
Well, I think it's valuable when they know that the
that, like, I know what
enthusiast and the normal driving perspectives
Agree.
are the same.
Yeah. So I think the acceleration and the smoothness of the ride are perfect for me. Like I love it. The braking is a little grabby, but like it's something I've gotten used to as the week has gone on. So they're not so bad that I would be like, oh, that's terrible. It is very comfortable. Like I drove this in traffic on the interstate, like an hour both ways one day, and it was very comfortable. The seats, I don't know the material, the seats are super comfortable.
Yeah, they're Nissans.
The steering wheel is great. It's got the like open bottom that like, I don't know why everybody doesn't do one like this. It's just such a lovely, I just love it. The heads up display is lovely. And when it changes.
Is there anything not lovely about the car? Everything so far is lovely.
Exactly. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about this car.
I just meant other adjectives.
Oh, you want me to use other? I'm not a language arts teacher. I don't know how to tell you. I'm a math teacher. Like we don't use like words. But I'll do my best.
We should sell merch that just says lovely.
I don't think I'm gonna buy that. The heads up display. Can you just let me talk instead of interrupting me? How about that? The heads up display has the speed limit, which is perfect, and it flashes at you when it changes speed limits, which I loved. I think that's great because then
Safety
it
first.
Yeah, well, it just catches your eye just to be aware that, oh, by the way, the speed limit has changed. So I think that's great. Now, my one complaint about the driving is that it would get this little thing up here that flashes up in the heads up display and on the here. What is this called?
And on the here.
What is this called?
The
gauge cluster, but it doesn't really feel like a gauge cluster when it's a screen. Yeah. That would say keep your eyes forward or look forward or something like that. And I was like, literally, I am looking forward. I don't understand why it's telling me to look forward. So that was a little frustrating, but I mean, that's really my only complaint. I do have another complaint, but it's with the interior, not the drive. The CarPlay didn't work one day.
That's interior.
But then the next day worked. But I feel like that's part of your driving, like your driving experience.
Is it though?
It is, and I can decide that because this is my video. The steering wheel feels great. The seat feels great. What else? It drives great. I mean, I have no complaints. I love this car. Can I get one? And you said it's a good price point.
Well, EVs are coming down now because just sales have started to slide. So
yeah, and we've just been charging it like at home on our like normal plug.
Yeah, it's been hanging in there pretty good.
Yeah, and it's been hanging in there. I drove like an hour on the highway, and it only went down like, what did I still tell you, like 13% or something?
Yeah, well, stop and go is the EV's best.
Yeah, that's my point. Like I was on a highway, which is not the EV's best, and it only went down like 14%. So, I thought it was pretty good. Oh, and a plus for the EV is that I was at my kids' volleyball and I didn't want to go inside, so I sat in the car, and you can just sit in the car with the car turned on, and it only went down like, I don't know, 3% more.
Yeah,
or something.
And a nice cool AC.
Yes, exactly. Whereas like in my big old Suburban, I have to, well, I'm not turning the car on, so I have to sit there and.
Well, you'd either be throwing away
baby
money
goats.
or you're just a terrible person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, polluting and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so the EV definitely has some positives to it. And then I've got a lot more to say about the exterior and the interior.
You already said some of that.
Oh yeah, this video magic.
Yeah.
But I hope you listened to that before.
And then after.
Because I already said it. And then after, I may say more.
Yeah, there's a little of both.
You just never know. You never know when I might pop up.
Oh, jeez.
With all my nuggets of wisdom.
Oh my gosh. Nuggets is right. So behind the wheel of the Nissan Ariya, there's a lot to like, and there's a couple criticisms. It's a very comfy car to drive. This van doesn't crash into it.
I was going to say, I don't think he knows
I know, right?
which lane he's in.
Right as I'm saying it's a comfy car to drive, and the van just comes over. And the driving position, the seats, I mean, I was commuting in this car. You did some commutes in this car, and the comfort is unquestionable. The ride, for all of my enthusiast dads out there like me, The ride is cushy. It's not quite as buttoned down as I would like it. Like, it can't decide to just be fully on comfort or more sporty and firm. Part of the problem is that EVs weigh a lot, and so they're difficult to kind of calibrate the suspension for because there's so much extra weight. But it's definitely not a deal breaker. It definitely errs on the side of comfort, and you had no complaints over the comfort of the vehicle.
Nope.
So I don't think that's a problem. Forgive us for it being kind of dark. It's been a rough filming day, and we're going home at like, what is it? It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's almost 9 o'clock in
normally done
Atlanta,
way
so
before
we're
now.
pushing the camera here a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the highway drive in the region. When we have EVs, you don't typically like to drive them in region modes because that bothers you
Yeah,
with
it
the
makes the
brake.
brakes
Yeah,
bad,
you don't
yeah.
like the way the brake operates. So in the Ariya here, on the little touch controls, you have the different modes, right? So right down here, you've got your drive mode. That's some
terrible.
good, great camera work there on that one.
Thank you.
You've got your drive mode, and when you switch it to Eco, and you switch the drive from D to B for increased braking, you get like a decent amount of regen, right? So it numbs the throttle, which is fine because you're in eco mode. In an EV, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Normal and sport mode are totally fine. And if you go to B mode instead of D, you get more braking. But then if you turn on E-step, what that does is it sort of does maximum regen capture, but it's not a true one pedal system. And some people don't like it because it's one of those systems, I think Mercedes uses one, where the brake pedal actually moves relative to how much you need to press it. I'm actually not bothered by that as much as I am just the Ariya brake pedal feel is just kind of spongy as it is. It's probably the weakest dynamic part of the car, is that the brake pedal feels kind of squishy, and then when you come to a complete stop, it almost has this little tiny rock to it, like is it fully engaged? It's kind of a weird thing the Ariya does. Again, not a deal breaker. And you said you didn't love the brakes, but
No,
it's
but
not,
they're not terrible.
right. It's not terrible.
They're just not like perfect brakes.
Yeah, and if you like driving, you're an enthusiast, you will notice that it just has that kind of odd feel to it. But this is a front wheel drive car with not a ton of power, so I wasn't ever driving. In fact, full disclosure, as the enthusiast side of the channel, I drove it in eco mode with E-step on 99% of the time because I was just maximizing my range, and so it didn't bother me in the slightest. So that's something to note. The other thing I want to note, as we're rapidly running out of light here, and this is going to be in like grainy black and white, I'm going to put it in night vision just for fun. Pro Pilot. So the Ariya has Pro Pilot Assist like level 2 or whatever Nissan calls it. Regular Pro Pilot adaptive cruise control is decent. It's a decent system. We've had it on a couple Infinities recently. I hated it on the QX50. I don't know if it's because it has older sensors. QX60 was fine. This has a level 2, which means you can actually go hands-free. And it is wild how much better it works than the regular Pro Pilot, and even the one in the QX50. We had a QX50 Autograph, the highest level of the Infiniti QX50, and the adaptive cruise control was trash. And then you get this at $50,000, and it works really well. Like, it's good. It's at least as good as Ford's Blue Cruise system, which puts it up there in that kind of top tier of hands-free.
We just got darker.
I know, yeah. It's going to be kind of wild. Sorry about this, audience, but I wanted to tell you about Pro Pilot. Let me show you a little Pro Pilot footage where it's actually
It'll be light.
daytime, and then we'll come back. One of the things that's cool about the Pro Pilot is that, first of all, it works pretty well. This is Pro Pilot version 2 or whatever, and it does a good job steering the car as a hands-free system. But you can see that I'm actually at the edge of the road. And not only is it showing that I'm at the edge of the road, so there's no other lane there, it's showing the yellow line, which I think is kind of cool. I didn't know it color-coded the line, maybe, based on the road. But I don't think people talk about Pro Pilot enough in Nissan products. I don't think Nissan talks about it enough, and they certainly don't have it in all of their vehicles. But the ones they have it in, like this Ariya, it's a pretty good system. I'm impressed. Another quick example.
In 2 miles, take exit 14 toward Buford.
Yes, I'm coming up behind a motorcycle, which not only is Pro Pilot recognizing that, but it's showing a little motorcycle guy. and it shows cars for cars and trucks for trucks. I mean, you know, that's like kind of Tesla-ish stuff there. And you can see when someone's in your blind spot that it monitors, and then it just cut off there because the motorcycle guy tapped his brakes. I'm not really sure why he's in the left lane. Maybe it's starting to rain, buddy. Get back over again. But that's an impressive level of detail. Okay, hopefully you found that a little bit helpful. But I just wanted to shout out Pro Pilot Level 2 because I was very impressed. I'd spent like a tiny bit of time with it in a previous car. It might have been the Ariya from last year. We just never took it on the highway. This time I used it multiple times, and I was very impressed with how accurate it was, how easy it was to engage. There was only one time when it kind of got stupid on me, and I think it was just because there was a lot of traffic around and just kind of confused
Kind of
the
looks like
system.
you're blurry now. Sorry.
It's probably having trouble focusing. Well, okay. Let's wrap this up. Is the box still around my face?
Yeah, there's still a box around your face,
okay.
but you're pretty blurry.
It's just on the struggle. It's on the struggle bus right now. No one wants to see me in focus anyway.
That's true.
Yeah. So I wanted to give Pro Pilot Assist its due. It's a really good system, and in the Ariya, it's great. Now, one thing. What?
It's back. The box went away, but now it's back.
One thing I'll end on, though, is that as good as Pro Pilot Assist is, why is it on your EV with limited range and recharge speeds? Why isn't like this version of it on your like Pathfinder and the QX60 and all, like why isn't it on the cars you would actually road trip in? That's the only thing that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
Does my hair still look good?
I mean, it's hanging in there.
What do you? That's not the right answer.
And
You're supposed to say,
humidity.
honey, it looks beautiful, like always.
I mean, it does look good.
Jeez. I mean, my curly hair is crazy. I had to, like, this curly hair is different, but
Considering
anyway,
how
I did all this for you. Okay. In the interior. The interior is my favorite thing about this car.
Which we're running the AC.
We are running the AC if you hear a little background, but all my ladies will get, it's hot in here. I'm not.
Well, it's about 100 degrees in Atlanta.
Yeah, these working conditions are not, I'm not doing it.
It's very hot.
I love the steering wheel. It is like smooth. It's like the smooth leather that I like with like the grippy leather, which makes it feel like tough. And the open bottom, which like every steering wheel should have an open bottom. I don't understand. Like, I love this. Now, I drove this for a long time, so I feel like I have a lot of things in my head, a lot of thoughts going through my brain.
Yeah, we had about equal time in this.
Yeah, I already said I love the heads-up display. I think it's great. I like the screen here. It tells me all the information I need. I don't really understand what the power percentage thing is. I was kind of trying to figure it out. Like when you're braking, it shows you your regen maybe, or...
yeah, and it also shows you your average
it was kind of
kilowatts.
fun. It was kind of fun. And it's got the like how much power you have, how much percent of your battery you have left. The screen, I think, was great. The CarPlay didn't work one day. I had to plug in my phone.
It was like 2 days.
I literally sat in the parking lot at my daughter's volleyball trying to figure out how to do Apple CarPlay for like 15 minutes before I left, and I couldn't figure it out. And so then I had to plug the thing in, which was kind of annoying. But now it's working, so I don't know.
It had a bit of a freak out.
I don't know. You tell me. I do like the accents here, these weird little things.
Oh, yeah, they light
now,
up.
I needed to ask you. I didn't drive this in the dark. Does it light up?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And the
like,
one
can I
down
choose my lights?
No, it's just a little accent. Yeah.
So, like, I can't pick hot pink?
I mean, this is it's
That's
not
upsetting.
a luxury vehicle.
It's upsetting. But it feels like it should be. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm missing a few things. Like, I don't have cooled seats.
Well, we're definitely missing them this week.
And I'm missing those. But, like, it feels like it should have that, which I think is I think that's a good thing.
You can get it.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, this
but, like,
isn't the
everything
highest.
feels so luxurious. And I love the way all the materials feel.
Yeah, they did a good
Like,
job.
I feel like it looks really nice. The seats are kind of this, like, suede-y leather. So they're not as, like, hot and sticky on your skin,
Yeah.
in the summer. This middle console, like, moves forward and backward, which
Yeah.
I think is kind of cool. Like,
It's some good details.
like, I think that's a cool little detail. Like, where do you want it? It's got this the
Your
gear
most hated
shifter, whatever, that I absolutely hate. I was actually at a friend's house, and she wanted to see what the inside of the car looks like.
Oh,
and she
yeah.
looked at that, and she was like, girl, how do you even put that in reverse? Like,
Well,
she
she
was like,
didn't
I wouldn't
know.
know. Yeah, she was like, I would not know how to work that thing, which is why I hate it. Because it's one of those that you push it forward to go backwards, and you push it backward to go forward. Like, that's so weird. Just put a regular gear shift in here.
Nissan Infinity.
I don't like it. I also think it's weird. So this has this close open thing, these buttons in the wood. And I was trying to figure out, like, what does this do? Because I was trying to figure out things, like, by myself without asking him to, like, see how, like, user friendly it is. So I was like, oh, these must, like, be a cool button. It must, like, do something cool because it's, like, in the wood. You know what it does? It, like, opens this weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, what does this even do? Like,
Well,
it's just
tray
like a little
opens.
tray.
Yeah, and it opens.
But But like, why do I have like this big button like
It's
engraved in the wood to like do this?
They're just making it cool.
No, but it's not cool.
Oh,
like
ouch.
sometimes I
Okay.
feel like when things are not necessary that they're like
It's trying too hard.
it's trying too hard. So it ends up just looking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I also, and you can't really see it, it's got plugs down here. So this is where I had to plug in my
Yeah.
cords when the Apple CarPlay wasn't working. But
Right.
there's like this weird hole here. Like, what is this? It's like this weird hole with this like rubber grippy thing.
I think it's for like items.
But like what? Teeny tiny items? Like it's
Yeah.
another weird like thing that I think looks weird. It's got the closed thing on the door that I really like.
Handle.
But no. I guess that is
Handle?
the handle. But it's
What
like
would
closed.
you
Like you
call
can put your
that?
AirPods in it. I don't know. It's a holder of things for me.
The handle. It's a holder of hands.
It. That's weird. I do not like
No,
the
it's not.
location. Oh,
Yeah.
pumpkin. I do not like the location of the armrest.
Here?
Yeah, it's very low.
Oh,
When I'm
relative?
driving,
Yeah.
I was in traffic and I wanted to like
Yeah.
kind of like do this, and it's way low. So like it's not. I feel like it's not usable as an actual armrest, which is what it is.
Well, you know, it's funny.
So I
'cause
like end up
rest-
resting my arm. I did
yeah,
too,
up
but
there.
but I just like I don't know. I don't like the placement of it. Oh, I love the little gold. What is this? Gold accents here?
It's kind of a bronze.
Bronzy. Yeah, it's not really gold. It's kind of bronze. But the seat is like super comfortable. It adjusts every which way, and I had no problem getting comfortable
And
in
the
this.
Pano roof.
Yeah, the pano roof is really nice. I opened that while I was driving. It's got almost forgot one of my favorite things. If you open this, it has a little charge plate for your phone, like a wireless charger. And because it's closed, the first time I was like, well, that's annoying because how am I supposed to see if it's charging or not? Look, it has a little light
Yep.
that comes on. So then you know if like it's how if it's like not in the right position, it won't charge. So I
And
thought
more
that was pretty
importantly,
cool.
It actually works.
And it does, and it charges like pretty
Yeah.
well, like pretty high, pretty
It's a
quick.
good one.
I don't know what some of these things mean, like P auto, E
I'll
step,
talk about that.
drive mode. Like some of these buttons, I was like,
regen and stuff.
I don't know what these mean.
You wouldn't like them anyway.
But all the things that I need, I was able to easily access the buttons on here, the radio and the whatever. I didn't use cruise control or any of that stuff.
I did. I've got a second.
You did, but like I just like when I was driving, I was like, this is a very comfortable car. It is very comfortable, and I think it looks really cool from the outside. I like pulled up to Chick-fil-A, and I was like, "Are you looking at my car? Because it's so cool." Like I felt like, is that weird?
It does. Have
Like
a-
I felt like
a
I looked
vibe.
cool. Yeah, like it just looks like a cool car. I would 100%, because I don't commute very far to work. I would 100% drive this as my daily driver,
Wow.
which I did not think I would really ever say about an EV.
More than the Ioniqs.
Yes, because I hate the way the Ioniq looks on the
Yeah,
outside.
you just can't
but
get
this
over
has
it.
like the big open bottom here,
Yeah, the open
which I
floor
do.
plan. Your open floor plan.
But I like it, but I don't, because like as a woman with a purse, my purse I had to put in the back. I want to put my
Oh.
purse here, but I wish there was like a thing that would come out
That
where
would-
like a
not like a useless.
like a
tray.
little bucket or something. Yeah, not like a use like somewhere like, oh, if you want this to be a giant open floor plan, it can be, or let's have this little bucket pop up that you can put your things in. Do you know what I mean? So I
little
don't love
bucket.
that because there's not really like a
Automakers,
place.
give us a bucket.
There's not a place for my purse, and women, I don't want to drive with my purse like right here. That's annoying. So it's in the back, which is not my favorite thing. I feel like I've talked about a lot. I just like had so many things in my head.
Well, you really like this car.
But it's because I really like it. And there are things I don't like, which I think is important for you to know. There are things I don't like, but what I love just overshadows all of it. But I do want to see what the back seat is like because I have not fit back there yet. I haven't been in there.
Nissan says passenger space. Let's check it
Let's
out.
check it out. Okay, Nissan was not lying. Sorry.
Whoa,
I'm like,
you're choked up over
I
the
just choked.
Ariya.
I am very comfortable. This is very comfortable back here. Now, I immediately noticed that I'm a little hot, and there's just these teeny tiny little vents back here.
Well,
We aren't moving,
yeah, and it's
so that
super
could
hot. All
help. It's
the
super
doors
hot
are
outside,
open.
so it does feel warm back
You got
here.
heated seats. if you
I do
want
have
that.
heated seats, which I absolutely do not want those turned on. But it's one of those, I love a good like bench back seat where you're like, woo, it's like super cushy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like big, thick, like nice, cushy.
Big thick boy.
Yeah, but it feels like it's made for comfort. Like I am very comfortable. I feel like they actually cared about the people in the back seat here. I even have a closed little handle and a little cup holder. And are there other cup holders?
And
Oh.
probably in the center.
You have to pull the center thing down. Yeah, there's 2 cup holders there. I do feel like they could have done some extra cup holders. I'm not a big proponent of, a lot of times I want more than one
Yeah,
drink.
but remember, you're not going on trips in this.
Okay, but like sometimes I just want to,
You just want a bunch of
I
drinks
just want multiple drinks. Yeah. Like is that,
in the back seat.
like you
of
need your
EV.
Stanley and your coffee or whatever. Yes, absolutely. All right, I'm getting hot. We're going to have to close this down. But it's super comfortable, and I have plenty of space. Like this driver, which I drive very far back, could come back further, and I would have plenty of room.
Yeah.
So
you
like,
got, I mean, you're 5'9".
I have no complaints here. Like I
Wow.
love this back seat, and this is my
right.
first time in it.
Okay.
But like, good job, Nissan.
So the interior of the Nissan Ariya is one of its strongest points. We magically transported to a new location because we started to get rained on.
We
so
had to be reverse storm chasers.
yeah, we were reverse storm chasers. We're storm running away, storm fleers. Okay. This one, because it's sort of the second highest trim, or the highest front wheel drive trim, or however you want to call it. It comes with a lot of stuff. One of the things that we mentioned earlier is that the CarPlay did weirdly fail on us, and it sort of came back to life and is operating totally fine. But because you have wired CarPlay, I don't consider that a deal breaker. This one is nicely equipped though. I mean, you have memory seats, you have the pano roof. I think some of the gimmicks that you mentioned in your section, like the fold out drawer and stuff like that, that's definitely a gimmick. I actually like the fact that you can move the console though for a little bit more space, and the fact that you can close off the cup holders here and that becomes a phone rest, but you also have the wireless charger here as well. Those are just little nice touches. What it feels like to me is a very the stand. Yeah, it does fit the stand. It feels like a very thoughtfully laid out interior. And while I'm not the biggest fan of Nissan's infotainment system, the dual 12-inch screens, they look nice. I mean, especially the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster is very nice, very functional, gives you a lot of information. And when you have Blue Cruise on, which you saw earlier, you get Blue Cruise graphics in the gauge cluster, and you also get them in the heads-up display. So it's just kind of odd.
I think the heads-up display is really good.
Yeah, the heads-up display is pretty nice. Yeah, it's very bright. You can adjust the brightness, and it also mirrors some of the stuff in the gauge cluster. So I just think that Nissan created a very nice, very comfortable, very spacious interior. It sort of makes me go, why doesn't all of their vehicles kind of have this attention to detail? I know they're trying to wow you with the Ariya because it's sort of their flagship, tech, EV. Like I actually like the touch sensitive controls in the fake wood.
No,
here
I like them.
here.
I like them. I just think.
No, I'm saying you like them.
Some people don't.
Some people don't. Like some people are like,
I thought you were saying because I thought that one was weird.
No, you like them. I actually like them too. I actually think it's kind of a fun thing, and they work reasonably well. That's the thing, is that even here with the driving aids, well, not driving aids, the regen aids, the driving modes or whatever that I was talking about in the driving portion, I like this stuff. Like, I think it's nice. And so, the light up grills by the speakers and down there, it's just a really pleasant place to be, and very spacious as well, which I'll show you by sitting my almost 6'6" self behind my 6'6" self.
I wish we could superimpose you back there, so you were actually sitting.
Well, I used to actually do that. I used to actually do that in the old videos.
That, it makes me feel like I should be like this.
Yeah, I used to do that in the old videos, but it requires tripod and all that kind of stuff, and we're just too lazy now.
Oh, yeah. It'd be funny if I went like that and you were waving.
Yeah, we're just going downhill.
But we're not doing it.
No. So as you can see, my knees are right at the back of the seat, and this is where I would have the seat for myself. Now, for tall people out there, if you have a tall family,
you could pull it up a little bit if you needed to.
Yeah, you could. I could drive with the seat further forward. That wouldn't be a problem. But there is one problem, and it happens on swoopy styled vehicles: headroom. Now, this has the pano sunroof. I imagine if maybe it didn't have a pano roof, I'd have a marginally higher amount of headroom, but it is pretty tight. So I would say,
just open the sunroof and you can stick your head out.
you know. But I would say if you're over probably 6'2" to 6'3" range, crimes are being committed somewhere, then it's going to be a little tight for you back here. Our girls didn't express that, and they top out at 6'1". So, much higher than that, you're going to feel a little bit pinched. Comfort will not be a problem, though. That's for sure.
It's very comfortable.
So to sum up the Nissan Ariya, both of us really like this EV. We had the Ariya a year ago. Do you remember that? We had the Nissan Ariya a year ago. I think I ended up driving it a little bit more. I think you did like the styling.
Was it a different styling?
No, it was a different color though. It was like a navy blue. It just wasn't as flattering. This one in this sort of gray with the contrasting black roof looks great. This is a very, very solid all-around EV. In fact, I feel like the Ariya is sort of underrated, right? Like, the range is pretty good, the comfort is good, the tech is good. Like, it does all of these things pretty well. I mean, it's sort of that classic jack of all trades, master of none. It doesn't have the highest range, it's not the fastest, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best looking, but it's definitely up there as one of the better looking EVs. But it does so much well comprehensively that there's not really anything to worry about. Like, if you had a 240 charger at home, the bad recharge speed, it's not really going to be a deal breaker for you, honestly. And we're back. We just can't win today. We've got thunderstorms and all sorts of stuff, and then the battery on the camera just died. So everything's going wrong today. But you know what's not going wrong? The Nissan Ariya. I'm just kidding. That was terrible. But like I was saying before the camera died, it's just such an all-around good EV, and I really like it's so easy to live with. And if you want something as a commuter, now.
Hey, wait, I have a gymnastics analogy
A
that I think
gymnastics
makes sense
analogy?
because we're in the Olympics time. But you know, you said it's not a master of anything, but it's like overall.
Yeah.
You know, like if you could get second place in like all your events and at the Olympics, you could still win the overall, the all around. So it's like you don't have to be best at anything, but if you're really, really good at everything, you can still be the champion. You can still win the Olympic gold. I'm just saying. It seems like it
So
goes
by
here.
your logic, the Ariya is
I'm being serious.
pretty
do you
good
watch
at everything.
Gymnastics is very popular in the Summer Olympics, and you don't have to win anything. If you get like second on the beam and second
Then-
on the floor and
then you
second in
still
bar,
win the gold?
then you can still win the gold medal in the all around.
Okay.
I'm just
okay.
saying. It seemed like it was exactly like what you were saying.
Well, in a way, like I think that sort of fits that jack of all
Sorry,
trades.
I just had to say exactly. But I
You
mean,
know?
seriously, yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
the Ariya, I'm the enthusiast side of the channel, and I like sporty things and stuff like that. But my new job has me behind the wheel commuting in pretty horrendous stop and go traffic for over an hour and 15 every single day, which more on that
Oh, sorry,
coming.
my nose itches.
This is
Sorry.
the worst
It was a moving
review we've
I don't know,
ever
I
done.
just had to.
We
There's
we
bugs. There's like gnats.
circling the
Yeah.
drain
Okay, go.
today. But I was behind the wheel of the Ariya sitting in this traffic, and two things stood out to me. One, it's incredibly comfortable listening to my podcast, just chilling in traffic. And two, I didn't feel like I was wasting anything. The Ariya's range dropped a 32, 34 mile commute, and I lost like half that in range and a fraction of the percentage. And so I could have literally driven back and forth to work almost all week on a single charge, because stop and go is when EVs are at their best. And the Ariya is excellent in that situation. And maybe, and I'll sort of kick it over to you after this sort of thought, but like, as an enthusiast, I can admit we all like to geek out about the cool things EVs can do, but sometimes that overshadows what they're actually meant to do. And I feel like the Ariya is doing what an EV is meant to do. It's doing the EV thing as best as it can. It's not trying to be something else. It's not trying to be some kind of performance car or something like that. It's trying to be a really comfortable, efficient, normal car that just happens to run on electricity.
Okay, pardon me for my. It's so hot. It's hot and sweaty here.
Hot and hot Lana.
Hot and hot Lana. My hair is not gonna last long. It'll be in a ponytail in a hot minute.
Well, they're not going to see it. You're going to be filming me.
I know, but just know I'm so hot. They're probably like, "Girl, put your hair up." Like I'm about to. But like, if I fix it, I gotta get the time out of it.
Continuity.
Yeah. Okay. So my overall thoughts on the Nissan Ariya. I like it more than he thought I was gonna like it.
A lot more.
First of all, the exterior.
Yeah, out here.
I don't know why I said that. I feel like I've said that before.
You've
though.
said that multiple
Yeah,
times.
the exterior, I'm going like a 9 out of 10.
Woo!
I love it. I love the color. I love the black accents. I think it looks really cool. I think it like draws people's attention, but like in a good way, not in like an Ioniq way. Sorry, Ioniq. I love that car. I love that car.
You love the Ioniq. You just can't stand the look.
I just don't love that look of the outside, and I love the look of the outside of this car. Interior, 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
9 out of 10.
Wow.
I mean, the things that I mentioned that I didn't love, there's little things that could be tweaked to make it like even better, but like I'm going 9 out of 10. For the drive, 9 out of 10.
Wow.
It's very comfortable. The gas pedal does exactly what I want to do. It accelerates well. The braking is the only thing I'm docking it for because it's not my favorite, but like I got more used to it as the week went on, so it's not terrible, but it's just not my very, very favorite. So that's the only reason I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, honestly. And value,
It's $50,000.
I mean, I think that's pretty good.
It's not bad.
I mean, it sounds expensive, but everything is expensive. But like, I feel like you get a lot. The quality is great. It's
And
a
you
Nissan.
could probably get it cheaper.
Okay, you could probably get it cheaper. I don't know why.
Because
I'm not
EVs
that
aren't
kind
selling super good.
Oh, EVs aren't selling super good, but this is a good one. So I would 100% buy this car. So value, I'll go 8 out of 10. I don't know.
Oh,
Seems a
okay.
little expensive. Maybe 7 out of 10? I
Well,
don't know.
we're not very wealthy, so
So for us,
everything-
it's like a 4 out of 10.
50,000 to us. Oh God.
So overall, I would, I mean, I know I've said this, but like, and I hope y'all know that like I'm being completely honest. I would if you said we should get, I found a great deal on this car, we should get it for your daily driver, I would, let's go. As long as
Wow.
it's in this gray color.
Which is
So-
doubly impressive because usually like trucks and stuff.
I do, exactly. I do normally like bigger, but I do appreciate, like, since I spent the week with it, I do appreciate having a smaller car and being able to kind of drive and navigate things better and not have to worry about like, oh, can I fit in there when I park and that kind of stuff. So overall, I'm going a 9 out of 10 for sure.
Wow.
100%. If you're interested in EV or even have thought about an EV, I would go try this one.
Wow. Nissan Ariya. 9 out of 10.
Nissan, great job. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. No complaints. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Oh, toodles. What's
oh,
that from?
God.